6:31, so we will call the work session of the mayor and council for the city of Snellville, Georgia for Monday, September 12th, 2022 to order. We do have a quorum. We've got everyone present. First, we'll go through the regular business meeting. Got for the invocation, John Leese. Is that
Yes.
how you pronounce it?
Mm-hmm.
The pledge, anyone that wants to do the pledge?
I
Todd?
think Chief Spar should do it.
You only have to know the first two.
All right, so who we got?
Zach.
Zach.
Thank you.
Zach, what's your captain?
I thought his nickname was Terminator.
Then we have ceremonial matters. We have two proclamations, one for Snellville Lions and one for Pink Gwinnett Pink. We'll approve the minutes for August 22nd. And then we've got, under the public hearing, if y'all remember, we've got RZ 22-04. We've already held the public comment portion, public hearing portion, so I'll read the title and then I'll ask for a motion. So if we can get a motion in a second, and then we can have discussion once we have that motion in a second. And then as usual, we'll do the LUP and the RZ first. Or the LUP first, and then the rezoning. And then the only other thing is under new business, we have an intergovernmental agreement with Gwinnett.
This is the one that was discussed last time, where there's about $341,000 worth of road work, probably more. And our cost will be limited to $200,000. So I would definitely recommend approval of that IGA.
Any other questions on that? Oh, is this proclamation in here for Carla Jordan from last meeting?
All I need is a signature. I've already presented it. I just wanted to get everybody to sign it. I'll frame it and give it to her. She was our winner.
All right, so that's all for the regular meeting. So we'll go back to the work session.
I'd like to remove item D from the discussion items from the agenda at this time.
Okay. Any correspondence?
I haven't had a chance to review it all, but right now, no.
I'm in the same boat. I haven't seen it all yet, but we'll go from there. City Attorney's report?
Nothing to report. Well, I should say, we actually just got back from the annual Institute for City and County Attorneys last week. It's a 2-day seminar, and first case on it was on zoning. Second presentation was on for-rent neighborhoods. And we literally hit every hot button issue, so I'll be putting together some notes and things to discuss with you all in the coming weeks. So it was really good.
Okay. Can you give everybody an update on the Beaver Creek property?
Absolutely. So on July 31st, we held a hearing on the nuisance matter in municipal court. No one showed up for the hearing, so the judge ruled in our favor. There was a slight concern, which I think I could put at ease, regarding the fact that he may or may not be still going through a bankruptcy issue. So the judge has no problem with us abating the nuisance. The question is the lien to be placed against the property, so we get paid back when the property is sold for the abatement. And I'm working, kind of carefully wording an order for the judge to sign. So we can't abate it yet because the judge hasn't actually signed the order, but she's granted it, and it's just a matter of, I should have that to her by Wednesday. So, but yes.
And that's 1589?
Yeah.
It's the Ayala property, yeah.
thank you very much. I live next to him.
We're working on it.
Thank you so much.
I know it is excruciatingly slow,
Thank you
but
so much.
we
Yeah,
are.
it's a process to get it done, so.
And John, heads up to Johnny Green too. I wish he was here. He has helped us so much to
Good.
get through this. Thank
Good.
you.
All right, Butch, ongoing projects?
Sure. Once again, I haven't had a chance to update everything, but I did try to hit some high points here. On the town center, Hodges and Hicks, there must have been some rain here last week. They're making progress, but they're a couple of days behind now. The pavilion is out for bid. We actually have a pre-bid meeting this week. We have about 8 plan holders right now. So it should be very competitive. We certainly hope so.
Can you shoot us out the design on that again? Because it's just been, it doesn't have to be right now, it's been so long since I've seen it that I don't even remember what.
We had a little
Pavilion.
update from Michael last week, the week before last. And I asked him to send all those screenshots. Matt, did we get those from Joan and Michael? Okay, we'll make sure those go out tomorrow. What he's done, he's always conscious of the budget, and what he's been able to do, and Dave, I think you saw this, on the roof, which is gonna be a very expensive part of the project. He's come up with these composite type cedar type shingles, and you offset those to kind of get the waviness. We don't have to pay for individual shingles to be placed so the roof actually goes like this, but it looks just like that. So Michael's come up with a lot of good ideas. He's come up with, we should have brought that fabric. He's come up with a fabric to wrap the center pole, the large pole that all the electrical comes in, and it looks just like tree bark. I mean, it's really cool.
Wow.
So, and he found that at really a very good price. So with all those plan holders, if it's a competitive bid, we should stay within our $600,000 budget.
Awesome.
So things look pretty good there. Also, not great budget news, but good budget news. We did lower the cost of the Thrive space through VE by a few $1,000s. Under the maximum amount that you guys had approved. The county BOC, Mark LeBlanc, is still working with, to get that approved. I'm not sure if it's gonna be tomorrow, or not, but, it is not holding anything up. The big credit that we got, they're operating, with that number. And they know that we're paying for everything, the total cost of the second floor. They just hadn't gone through the process yet, the BOC. Sidewalk improvements, we've continue to have good positive comments from property owners. Have y'all had anybody approach y'all or say anything because the surveyors have been out there kind of finalizing everything and nothing? Okay, well that's kind of we've had very positive feedback so far. And where the plans are right now, county DOT and GWR have to review those plans. There's not a lot of utility conflicts, but there are a few. And so they have to pass on those plans. They have those in their hands now.
Is that gonna be a problem with us doing the sidewalks if they're gonna be redoing the water mains? Cause there is some along Pinehurst.
There are probably, I don't know what has been and has not been upgraded, but we've told them all along, when we're out there and we're gonna be on the surface. We aren't gonna be digging very deeply, but it's gonna be torn up. And we've told them, anything that you need to upgrade, now's the time to do it.
Right.
And that's part of why Edgardo Aponte is kind of the lead person for our grant money and looking at those plans. That's why he brought GWR in.
Okay,
So, and Dave mentioned, somebody mentioned that Tyler Richards was retiring. We have good contacts over there, but she would have been really good to keep on for a while longer.
Yeah, it looks like between 800 and 1,000 feet of the frontage.
Is that from Valley Creek?
Yeah, from
Valley Creek Park?
Valley Creek all the way down to Sycamore is on the side where we're doing the sidewalk, and just a little bit across from Amber Woods.
so there's just some, I know there was some work along Pinehurst. I just want to make sure we don't go and do our work and put a sidewalk down and they come back.
It's just like our
Once
coordination
later.
down in the Grove.
Yeah.
You know, they were supposed to come in and top the Wisteria, and we said, obviously not now.
Yeah.
So, I think our relationship is to the point, we don't get news about everything from County DFT and GWR, but it's much better. Much better, a lot better coordination than with GDOT, to tell you the truth.
Well, let's just make sure we get a coordinating on that, because that's,
Yeah, that's part of it. But
It's all good.
there's also some there, and there's some on Skyland that, around the schools, and further out past where the sidewalk is now. And we said, just coordinate it, it's gonna be torn up, let's do it all at once. We don't want you coming back in there
yeah,
and knocking
Tearing
out
things up.
sidewalk and curb and gutter.
yeah, okay.
Neighborhood beautification, we're still working on that initial meeting. Shelley Marlott is very helpful, but she's also very busy. So we're trying to coordinate through her with all the right contacts.
Okay.
So it's just taking a little while. Zoning category review, discussion has provided some focus for it. Really nothing new to report. We learn something new every time you guys make a decision. And there needs to be a little more overall discussion, but we'll get to that. Package sales, I guess the draft ordinance is still being refined. The November election, it's drawn a lot of interest. We've had a lot of, I won't say a lot, we probably had a dozen phone calls from folks interested in licenses, interested in, do I need to build a store? And it's kind of, it's not unexpected, but there have been some interesting calls, so. Economic development rehab work is continuing at Cobblestone. I think we've uncovered all our problems now, and we just need to fix them. I thought the Georgia Trend article was very good. And that has spurred a lot of calls. People wanting to come to the Grove, even a boutique hotel developer.
Oh.
So maybe, all that kind of publicity is so good. And the Mars Award has been applied for. We don't know if we won, if somebody else won, but I imagine that'd be a real shot in the arm for interest in the Grove area also. And I think Matt has registered everybody for this event. We'll have a big crowd there, should they call our name. Briscoe Park progress, still refining the bid award on the maintenance building. Lake wall repair pre-bid meeting is this week. If you remember the lake wall repair and then the little floating dock that we plan to put in is paid for with CDBG money. We hope that it stays under that budget. We'll let you know on that. North and Wisteria, still working with the county, tying everything into the intersection, as well as the overall Grove plan, which includes North and Oak. The county has been very on top of this. They've gotten our plans reviewed in the 2-week time period that we've needed. They've had people out there who are always out on the street, people who know what is underground as far as their traffic system, traffic control system, as far as their utilities. So I feel like when we do get the go-ahead to bid this thing, everybody's going to be on the same page, and it's going to be done right the first time. Final plan, when we get all the right-of-way plats and get all the the final details on the plan. Gonna have Larry come in, and we may need an extra 30 minutes or so at a work session to kind of go over that so everybody knows. And what is always helpful, if we maybe even have a chance to walk everything out there. Because there are, I mean, it's major changes. At that corner, the extension of the turn lane affects some businesses and residences down there, so maybe walking it one afternoon would not be a bad idea. Things are gonna cool off, so it's probably a better time to do that. Maybe on after school one day, so. But overall, I'm very happy with the coordination we're getting there. We have a good engineer, the folks at CHA. We specified one specific person who did really well on the Grove work, so I think it's going very well. And next year, we did not get the big grant that we wanted this year, but we'll reapply next year before the project is bid and funded. So Larry seems to think we'll have a better chance next year because we're so much farther along. So, but that's kind of that's all I can tell you at this point in time. I do have more correspondence to review. I do have some other things to catch up on. I'll just shoot you an email at the end of this week.
Question for Matt. You were out of town. I asked Matt this. Any update on the left turn from Wisteria onto North?
Larry had a grandbaby last week.
Oh.
He's been out of pocket, so
Okay.
I'll try to catch him.
Just so everybody's up to speed, coming down north, turning on to Wisteria, noticed Wisteria traffic was really backed up because people are now coming down to the red light and want to take a left now that North Road is open. Unforeseen consequences, and there's no left turn lane, so they can potentially sit there for quite a while trying to make that left. So I just asked Matt, since you weren't here, Butch, if he could look into getting some temporary no left turn signs, because you should be able to hit the roundabout at Clower and do the same thing without tying up traffic at all. But I've seen it a number of times now that people are going down to the intersection of North or Wisteria, the intersection of North, trying to make that left, and it messes
Just blocking
things up.
traffic.
Thanks.
All right. We have item B, discussion about training opportunities with Freddie Broom from Georgia Municipal Association.
Go ahead.
We were just talking upstairs before this meeting. What is, if y'all could check your calendars for October 18th or 20th, from 6 to 9 in the evening.
18th or 20th?
Yep, it's a Tuesday or a Thursday.
20th would be better, is what I would say initially.
For me, 18 would be better.
October, I was looking at November. That would help if I looked at 22 instead of 21. Okay, we're going out of town on the 18th and coming back on the 21st. We've had reservations for about 10 months.
So let's look at another week then. And we haven't confirmed any dates with Freddie yet
No,
either,
okay.
so I thought we'd start with us, or we'll start here and then send him some dates and see what he can do. The next week, we have a council meeting on the 24th, planning commission's at 7:30 on the 25th. We could do 27th, 26th or 27th.
That would be okay with me.
Yeah, either or.
27th would be better than Thursday, better than Wednesday, generally.
Yeah, I may not be able to make either one that week, depending on something coming up.
First week in November.
Yeah, let's give Freddie a couple of days if we can. So October 27? No, that's
No,
a
Dave won't be
You
here,
can't make that.
and he's the life of the party.
Oh, for sure.
So we got November 1st is a Tuesday, do that, or the Thursday. I'm trying to steer away from a Wednesday if I can, but if we
Not
have to, we
Thursday.
have to. Not Thursday? How about the first Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody else? November 1st looks
Is
okay.
it, what time of day is it gonna be?
6 to 9.
We're talking 6 to 9 in the evening. So November 1.
A week later is election.
We don't want to look at election day.
No.
What about the 10th?
10th is good for me.
That would be okay.
I think so.
Barbara, would you mark on your calendar, I'm gonna miss the November 14th meeting?
Good for the 10th?
Yeah, it just conflicts with our standing
CPA.
Snellville Citizens
Citizens
Police
Police
Academy
Academy.
Alumni Association, but we can probably. The dulcet tones of.
Tracy Chapman.
Tracy Chapman.
When did you put that on there?
Better than silence, I hear you.
So I've got options. November 1st is a Tuesday, November 10th is a Thursday, knowing that that would conflict with
Yeah,
CPA.
well, I mean,
What about the 15th?
I'll be gone the 15th.
Oh, you'll be gone?
Let's see if he can, he's busy. I think y'all got the latest invitation to the webinar, another
Yeah.
Embrace webinar.
Now, as teachers, I don't know how we're gonna make it at 2, but, because
Yeah,
our kids leave at
Yeah.
2:10.
they usually record it and you could
Yeah.
watch it later. Good deal. I'll follow up with him.
All right, so if y'all could just put a hold on your calendars for either of those 2 days, and we'll see
The 1st and the 10th?
the 1st and the 10th. And then we'll see if Freddie's available.
Okay.
Uh, Okay, and then discussion on the personnel rules and regulations update.
Oh, you guys, we sent that out, I think, to everybody. That represents a lot of work by Matt, Gabby, the department heads. When Matt first got here, in looking for assignments where he could get to know people, kind of look at some things that people would be interested in, employees, department heads, that just seemed like something that needed to be done. It would be a good assignment for Matt, a good start to his work here. They've worked very hard on that. It really is more of an update. There are not a lot of substantial changes. We're going to send out, in the next couple days, kind of a list of areas you may want to look at. I know it's very voluminous, there's a lot there, but we needed to update social media policy. We needed to update travel policy. These policies are part of the personnel policy, the overall policy, because they pertain to employees. And some of them pertain to council members also. So we'll send, I wanted to get that in your hands to start looking at. We'll send the high points, if you will, to everybody this week, and just kind of look through it, provide feedback. We'll probably have it on, maybe not the next meeting, but the meeting after that, to put your stamp of approval on so we can update it. But it's just, it's a start. We have a lot of outdated policies, but we needed to get something like this in place it goes hand in hand with our compensation study, which kicked off last week. So it's just good timing. And it's something that you need to be aware of. Obviously, we apply it at the staff level, but you just need to be aware of the policies that are in there and what we ask our employees of the city to meet these certain standards. So take a look. We'll send out a further memo this week, and we'll just get your input, feedback, whenever you'd like to.
Could you send it to us as a separate file so I can save it?
Oh, yeah.
Because as it is now, it's part
Sure.
of the whole agenda, and I'd like to be able to
Okay.
have it for my records, if nothing else.
All right. Good deal.
Oh, you don't have all that Adobe stuff?
Leave me alone. I put my own bookmarks on the agenda this month, so I did good.
I can separate it.
Okay, next item, discussion of complaints about lack of maintenance code violations on the golf course property. Mr. Anino.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's gotten complaints. The weeds are 8, 9, 10 feet tall. Much of it adjacent to other people's, directly adjacent to other people's property. You want to speak to that? I don't know what we can do about it because the way the code reads, if it's undeveloped property, I think all we can do is ask the property owner to do something. I don't think we can legislate anything or require anything. I could be mistaken, but that's your...
Technically, it's, since there's no development there, there's no structure, it's considered an undeveloped lot now. So the reason that the code is written that way is really more for environmental purposes. At some point in time, if you want that lot to turn back into a forest, it has to go through succession first. The first parts of that are those weeds, then the pine trees come in, and then the hardwoods, they block the sun to the weeds, they go away, and it's a, it just takes a little while to knock all that bottom growth out. But that's why the code reads the way it does, and this is really kind of a unique situation for us, not necessarily the rest, because the golf courses have been going out of business for a while, but under current codes, I don't think there's anything we could cite the property owner for other than just asking to continue to maintain it for, I guess, an indefinite amount of time until something else is built there, or, I don't, it's kind of, it's not really a good way to fix it within the codes right now over those weeds, honestly. If there was a house there, it'd be easy. If there was any structure there, we could attach to that, but we don't have it within the codes. Be declared a nuisance. It's the other resolution. Like forceful resolution. We can always ask. I just don't know, what's the end game? I think I would want to know if I was a property owner. I don't have any suggestions other than asking, or,
Okay.
I don't know if that stuff would die out in the winter. I don't know if it's evergreen or not, but.
I'm sure it'll die out in winter, but
But
It'll
but
be
then
back.
you're gonna have 6-foot tall dead stuff.
Dead.
So in the spring, you're gonna have 6-foot high dead stuff with little stuff growing up underneath it, which maybe that keeps
That's
the
what
little
it
stuff
does.
from growing,
It
yeah.
takes, it takes a few years for succession to occur naturally. And we've seen it on a lot of our properties around here that have grown out. Just that first phase is
It's
not
horrible.
pretty.
It's what comes to mind for me is right behind the daycare center at Summit Chase.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
That-
a perfect.
That lower lot was clear cut and was supposed to be developed into some office condos or something. It never got built. And it was growing up and everybody wanted us to mow it and make them mow it. Problem is, it's never been built on. If it had been mowing, it would have been being mowed now for 15 years.
Right, and now it's a forest.
And now the trees are, the trees are 10 to 12 feet tall. So,
Could I mention, I know I'm interrupting.
no, sir, we don't have, I know, but we don't have discussion at the work session. So, I mean, that's kind of the issue that we've got. I mean, I'd be happy to call and talk to Don and see if there's something we could work out. Because I know it's a problem when you've got the properties, the residential properties that back up to that. Is really where the problem is.
The other side is getting developed though. Now finally, Malloy reissued his thing on a side note.
You're just teasing us, Jason.
I'll believe it when I see dirt
They
moving.
put in fences, so
Yeah.
we're.
They got silk fences. up.
Anyway, that one's gonna go away. That side.
So that problem is resolving. Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, suggestions? I mean, I'll be happy to talk to Don.
All we can do is talk to Don and see, and
That's about all you
Yeah.
can do, I think.
I don't know what equipment he has left. I don't know if somebody else can run a bush hog down there. It wouldn't take long, because, you're not doing the whole thing, you're just doing the adjacent.
Right, where there's residences.
Yeah, and then how far back do you go?
Exactly.
How often do you cut it? And then how long do you cut it? That's the terms that I think need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Don will offer to do it a little bit longer. No real resolution until that property gets developed or it's grown,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. All right. Like I said, I'll be happy to call Don and have a meeting with him and see if we
Okay.
can't get come up with some kind of compromise or game plan or something on there.
I thought I saw that he actually had transferred the property into another entity, but it's not showing that way currently on tax documents, so.
I'll go talk with him and, see what we can find out on that. Okay? So, any exec session tonight? No? So I will entertain a motion to adjourn the work
Motion
session.
to adjourn the work session.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Oh, one quick thing, homecoming weekend.
Yes.
Do we want to do a parade thing or on
I'm
the
not-
23rd?
I can do it.
Anybody want to ride in the parade?
I can, are we doing the fire?
September?
We're not doing the
Well,
fire
that's the
truck,
other
are we?
question. Do we want, I don't know.
The mosquito
Do
killer?
we still have the fire truck
What do you,
with Tommy or no?
I'm sure I can check with them.
Or do we want to?
do we
It's just a
trust
matter of-
that?
I know whether it's gonna
Well,
show up or
trust
not.
It's Friday at what time? 4?
4:30, it's the
Yeah,
23rd.
that's
So
gonna
should
be
we-
tough for him to get there, because what we ran into last
Was
year.
it traffic?
Well, no, I think he broke down in Loganville is what happened last
Oh,
year.
That
Do we
would-
just want to go ahead and go with the Parks and Rec? Or-
Or
Well-
maybe, can we get a tow truck as well as the?
Do the tow truck
Or have one,
or a
What kind of vehicle were you?
I don't know, I was just thinking one of the white trucks. We could ride in the back, somebody want to drive?
Chuck,
You
I
want me
mean,
to
I can
drive?
drive.
yeah.
Yeah, the lawyer's never gonna be driving a vehicle on the back,
No.
ever.
So,
We're gonna hang out the
I may
windows
walk
of the
with my
senior
club
center.
members. I'm not sure.
I think,
I'm looking for the truck. That's what I'm looking for.
I think the SYC, Nurgis and Winter want to ride with us as mayor, student mayor. So they're looking forward to something like that. So we want to go with the truck rather than the fire truck. Okay, I'll get in touch with Craig.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying yes or no to the fire truck. I could ask Tommy, see what kind of shape the fire truck's in.
I can
Or would
always
y'all
try to
prefer-
get my truck to run long enough to.
Oh, gosh.
No, no.
Oh, my.
Oh, I was supposed to remind you, it's still there.
No, I'm talking about my other truck.
Oh.
We need to do an inspection.
Yeah.
So, what time do we need?
I believe it's 4:30 in the church parking lot and we start at 5. So I'll text everybody and confirm. And I can get in touch with Craig.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been responding to, there's no legal problem.
No,
with
Chuck
us
said
using
it was
No,
fine.
it's fine, I mean, city function, city vehicle, you all are city officers, so.
You could ride in a dump truck, in the
Okay.
back of the dump truck.
Just throw good candy
Wouldn't
out.
that be fun?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Perfect.
do we want? yeah.
for both people on the route.
Okay. So the 23rd, it will be Friday, the 23rd.
Who are we playing?
We play
Norcross.
Norcross. Is it Norcross? I hope.
Those devils.
Do you know what the date of the,
I was just gonna say
South
November
Africans.
4th, Friday, November 4th at Brookwood. And it is at Brookwood this year, even though we usually rotate, because it was at Brookwood last year and it should be at South, but it's not. So 7:30, the Mayor's Trophy. Battle of Snellville.
You better be in town this year.
Yeah, because it was cold rain last year. That was no fun. And we lost
It was a
so
great
badly.
time, you're gonna love it.
It was painful on so many levels.
Yeah, I think it was 53 to
All I do.
zip.
Don't even.
okey doke. All right, with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Okay, we're done, 7:07.